Hi, I'm Maria Lloyd with Financial Juneteenth University, and today I'm going to have a very exciting conversation with Andre C. Hatchett. Andre C. Hatchett is the co-owner of BuyBlackNYC.net. He's also the founder of a new movement to change the imagery of the black man in mainstream media into a more positive imagery outside of sports and music, basically entertainment. And that movement is, or that website, that platform is blackmendoingit.com. And we'll actually talk about that a little later on. So how are you, Dre?
Doing great, Maria. Thanks for having me. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you for joining me. So, of course, today I hit you up because last night I posted a status. As you guys know, Jay-Z recently released a freestyle where he's kind of throwing shots at Google and YouTube and Spotify, which are essentially direct competitors to his new venture, Tidal, right? And the status that I wrote was essentially criticizing him for what I felt was him kind of pandering to the black audience in his freestyle, essentially saying, look, they are dissing me, the owner of Tidal, a black man, because I'm black. And you guys need to pay attention to that and don't feed into the hype. That's basically what I got from the freestyle. Now, of course, some of you guys may already know that Dream Hampton, who was the author of a memoir about Jay-Z years ago, recently tweeted and said that when, the protests were occurring in Ferguson, the protests in Baltimore, when she needed money to bail people out of jail, she would call Jay-Z and he and Beyonce would donate money generously, which was essentially used to bail out the protesters. So again, people have, been paying attention to that. Now that it's out in the public, people are aware that they've done these things. Essentially, there's this belief that Jay-Z is like some type of, philanthropic leader in Black America, and I think that's very misguided. So anyway, Dre, I want to get your point of view on this before I go into where I went with my status yesterday.
No problem. We got about 70 or 80 comments as of an hour or so ago, too. Just throwing that out there. So I'm glad that he bailed out the protesters and the uprisers. I'm very glad to hear that they did that, or him and Beyonce, or him or whatever. That's a great thing. Am I overly impressed? No, because they should be doing that. So it's like, that should be your job if you have that kind of bread in the back of me. Something along those lines. Mm-hmm. That's what. So I'm happy, but I'm not overly impressed. The freestyle, it was good from a hip hop perspective. It was a really good freestyle from a straight hip hop perspective. So, but basically, it's like a little too late. He drops the pro-black stance in the public eye once every 4, 3, 4, 5 years.
If that.
Excited. Oh my God, Jay-Z. So now he's dead Prez. Now he's Umar. Now he's Boyce Watkins. Right? No, he's not. His pro-black stuff is very seldom. It rarely comes out. And, now it's out, but it's out when he's getting heat from people. So he's like, rally behind me. Like, they're attacking me. But, like, we get attacked all the damn time. I don't see you do this stuff, dude. So I'm not overly impressed by any of this stuff. I'm happy about it. Like, it's cool. But I'm not like, whatever, dude. People out here like us, we live this pro-black stance. In public and private, we live this. This is our lives. So for someone to do it once every 4 years, we go excited about it. No. In our community, for some reason, we get so impressed by white people and famous people coming to our quote-unquote rescue. Jon Stewart said something about racism. Oh, my God, you see Jon Stewart, he's on our side. Oh, my God, yeah. Jon Stewart, yeah, run for president. Jay-Z said something. It's like, oh, my God, you see, Jay-Z is down. He is down with us. Like, nah, dude.
Right.
We live this shit. So I wasn't overly impressed. No.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Of course, I got a lot of heat for my status. And just so that you guys can know what I posted on Facebook, I'll go ahead and read it now. I pulled it up on my phone. And I'm sorry, there is some profanity in here. So if you know my mom or father, like, please, don't show them this video because I'm sure that they would probably scream. But anyway, so the status reads, literally LOL at Jay-Z trying to pull on Black America's emotional strings with his latest freestyle about Google, YouTube, or Spotify versus Tidal. Dude has practically been on mute for the longest about the injustices brought forth against Black America, but now that his black ass is being thrown to the wolves over Tidal, he wants to pretend like it's us, Black America, versus them. Nah, homie, you're on your own. Those are your people you've been putting on a minstrel show for. Sit your ass down. And look, I mean that. To piggyback off of what you said, Dre, first off, thank you, Jay-Z and Beyonce. If what Dream Hampton tweeted is true, that you did give money to bail out protesters in Ferguson and Baltimore, thank you. But to your point, Dre, let's not pretend like this is some noble deed that happens all the time when it comes to Jay-Z and Beyonce. We know that for a very long time, these two have remained silent. I'm not going to necessarily focus on Beyonce in this conversation. I will bring it back to Jay-Z. One of the things that concerns me is that in Black America, it seems like we oftentimes put imagery over implementation. We saw that with President Obama. You know, there are literally Black people to this day who will say, I'm just glad he's in there because that just looks good for me. I can teach my kids to be a president of the United States. Sometimes we put a lot of flash over substance. And this is what we're seeing with Jay-Z. Some Black people are just happy that Jay-Z, quote unquote, made it, even if it's at the expense of Black culture and Black people, right? So I like to liken this situation to an absent father. Dre, let's say, I know this isn't your case, right? But let's say your dad has been absent from your life for 20 years, okay? Jay-Z has been in the music industry, has been pretty powerful for about 20 years now, over 20 years. So, Dre, let's say your dad who's been absent in your life for 20 years pops up out of nowhere and he starts calling you and he says, you know what, Andre, I want to build with you. I want to build with you, my son. And so how would you treat that? Would you embrace that with open arms, or would you be open to it with a bit of hesitation?
A lot of hesitation. Where have you been all these years?
Exactly.
Where have you been all these years?
Yes.
Definitely.
And I think that's what most smart people would do, right? If your dad has been absent in your life for 20 years and he randomly decides to pop up and say, hey, I'm here, I want to be your father, you should embrace that with a bit of hesitation. Why? Because you don't know what's going to happen in the end. You don't want to get your hopes up high and then have your heart ripped apart later on when he decides to bounce, if he does again. This is how I'm looking at the situation with Jay-Z. Am I happy he did it? Absolutely. But is he going to get me to just jump up and down and sing his praises for, one or two deeds? No, because this is the same Jay-Z who called Harry Belafonte a boy, who is a civil rights icon and has done far more for civil rights in Black America than he would ever probably do in his entire life. And mind you, Mr. Harry is probably worth like 1/10 of what Jay-Z is worth and still managed to do far more than he'll probably ever do in his life. So let's not forget that. Let's also not forget that this was the same guy who, when the situation occurred at Barney's where the kid bought a $700 belt with what the people at the store thought was a stolen credit card and he was harassed for hours behind that. This is the same guy that when he was challenged and he had a t-shirt line with the company and people said, hey, you need to take your t-shirt out of that retailer, like get away from them. This is the same guy who said, oh no, I won't do that. But what I will do is now I've renegotiated my terms with Barney's and they're going to give me 100% of the profits as opposed to giving me a percentage of the profits from the sales. And then in addition to that, I'm going to sit on a diversity board with the company. Whatever happened to that, Jay-Z? Where is that money? What have you done with that money instead of just using it for personal gain? I do understand that he claimed 100% of the profits would go to his little foundation or his scholarship program or whatever. That's awesome. If it did, hey, I take back everything I just said. But oftentimes I find with Jay-Z that he does not get involved in stuff unless it directly benefits him. So now that they're hanging his ass out to dry with this Tidal stuff, all of a sudden it's like, Black America, get behind me. I'm your homeboy. I've been here this whole time. They're only dissing me because I'm Black. Get behind me. And it's like, no, because you have not been behind us consistently for 20 years. So until you start becoming consistent with your deeds, until you publicly apologize for how you dissed and disrespected a civil rights icon, Jay-Z, racist white people call Harry a boy. And you turn around and use that same term? Are you serious? Like, I just can't. And so, Dre, I know that earlier you were saying that that somebody actually compared Jay-Z to Malcolm X, which my head wants to explode just thinking about that.
To create took a screenshot for you in particular because I know that Malcolm X is one of your favorite people of all time, though one of your just favorite human beings.
I'm baffled.
Of all time, and it's just being happy with a little trinket of hope. So we're looking for these icons to save us, right? But what about people who may be less famous, less rich, but who do so on a consistent basis? Let's stay like in the hip hop or the former hip hop world. Dame Dash. Dame Dash, every time he does a video with Dr. Boyce Watkins for his networks or whatever they're working on, black men working together. He says these words. We need to work together.
And he's been consistent with that message. That's how Rockefeller came to fruition, because he wanted black people to own stuff.
Exactly. And he says the words, which for me is a big deal because I respect people who are pro-black in the open. He says the words, yo, black men, we need to work together. He said, I didn't want to go at Lee Daniels for that whole law school suit thing, but I had to because he would pay my money. I don't want to argue with a black man in public. This is what I said consistently. That's Boyce Watkins lives this stuff. Oh my gosh, lives this stuff. So for me to get so excited about somebody doing this crap once in a while, I'm like, dude, nah, man, like, if I'm going to look for somebody for encouragement, for strength, for leadership, I'll look for one of these guys who live this shit, humbly how I say I do, of course on a smaller scale, but I live this stuff. So for you to do it once every 4 years, when you live it every day, I'm not going to, come on, man.
Yeah.
He's so impressed by this. We should not be overly impressed by it. Again, the failing other people, yes, that's very, very cool.
Right.
But again, my opinion, this should be your job. Shit like that should be your job. And I don't want to tell, I feel funny even saying how to misspend his money, but damn it. Like, who else is going to do it? If I had that kind of chips, I would. You know, I help out how I can help out with the chips that I got. When I got more, I'll do more. But yeah, man. Yeah.
So here are, some comments from the status. Some people who clearly disagree with my point of view, which is totally fine. I'm open to all points of views because I'm not. I don't think there is a right or wrong answer per se, right? So there was one guy who said, we can't always be disappointed in black celebrities or entertainers who don't go public with their support of black America. So essentially he was saying that for the longest, for all we know, Jay-Z could have been a silent benefactor of black America for a very long time. And we just did not know because he kept it private. How do you feel about that? Do you think that, because I know obviously you're a fan of people going public with their, with their support of black America and fighting against our plights and things like that. But do you think that there is room for people who don't necessarily have to hold their fists in the air in public, but they're still making powerful moves on the back end? What do you think about that?
Great question. I have some friends who are down for the cause, but they might not like how overtly pro-black I am in public. I have friends who don't like the Buy Black NYC, but they like the black men doing it for various reasons. They think that I'm being I'm segregating myself and our people when I say go buy black. But they agree with other stuff I do. So, not everyone has to agree with Brother Dre and what I say in my movement. So I'm not even on the ego trip here. As a personal thing, I do have a certain amount of respect, a high level of respect for people who are overtly have an overt, hardcore, firm-ass stance in the public eye when it comes to oppression, racism, and overall bullshit. I just love it. It excites me. I get excited when people do it. I love it. I thrive over it. I would have loved to see Jay-Z pull those effing belts out of that damn store, the whole friggin' chain of that. For me, that's power. That's, F you. Who do you think you are? That's my little brother. Who do y'all think you are? Here's the chess move. Give me all my damn belts. F y'all motherfuckers. That's what I would like to see. Shit like that. So I'm on the diversity board. So he's going to use it. Maybe he is or maybe he isn't. I don't know. As a teaching moment. Teach your ass. How about teach their ass how powerful we are and that we're going to stick the fucking together no matter what. So don't fucking play us. That's what I have a higher level of some people who operate in that manner. I just say I don't respect people who live under the radar. I guess it's somewhat needed. I don't know. It's just not my thing. I couldn't sleep at night doing that, to be honest with you. I couldn't sleep at night if I wasn't as overt and outspoken as I would. I want to be more overt and outspoken. I wish I was. So.
Well, it's interesting that, you said that because I kind of feel the same way. I think my issue with Jay-Z, if he is indeed a silent benefactor of the community, I would say if you've gone public with your destructive lyrics and imagery, I mean, for example, naming your song ends in Paris. I don't like the N word, so that's why I'm not using it. But when you name your song ends in Paris, right? And that becomes your single, right? And you're literally going in Europe, you're going all around the world performing this song in front of a majority white or European audience. These are people who don't really interact with black people that often, right? So they're literally depending on you for the imagery of black people and who we are as a people, right? And you chose to title your song this derogatory word that people have literally died. They've been hanged as a result of this, or not. I'm sorry, they didn't get hanged for the word, but I mean they were demeaned by this word. And so I feel like if you're going to go public with all of that, with the ignorant stuff, let's go public with the positive stuff too.
Sure.
So while I do understand some people aren't, I don't think everybody need to be walking around, fist of black power and all that. I get it. You know what I mean? It's not everybody's lane. For the longest, I've been a big critic of black celebrities not saying anything about race. But now that we have people like Raven Simone who are speaking out and she's saying dumb stuff, now I'm saying shut the hell up because you sound stupid. So anyway, I don't think everyone has to go public, right? But again, if you have gone public with the ignorant stuff and you have directly benefited financially or otherwise as a result of being public with the ignorant stuff about Black America and our culture and the destructive stuff, then surely you can go public with the philanthropic efforts, right? So I'm definitely aligned with you on that.
Sorry, Ray. My thing is, let's say that certain people, they have a job, right? They're on their job and they don't have a savings account, they don't have an IRA, they can't speak out, or they feel they can't speak out about racism at their job because they're not there yet. But now, 5-10 years later, they have money, they're wealthy, they have some wealth put aside, they have a house, they have a savings account, they have everything put in place. Now you can challenge it without quote-unquote fear of losing your job. Dr. Bushwalk is a great example. He spoke out, not a circus anymore, but he doesn't care. He does his own thing. So he took a stance. My thing is, Jay-Z has reportedly $400 million at least net worth from what I said. Like, if you can't be outspoken about stuff now, if you can't be blatant about stuff now, when the hell are you going to be? When the hell are you going to be? So it used to bother me. They say, like, why don't they do more? But I said, look, I'm a man. I'm just going to do more.
Right, absolutely.
What I can do. And if these guys do it, great. But I'm not going to let them doing it or not doing it affect me. I'm just going to go all out for my people. That's the way I know how.
Exactly. And for those of you who are watching, you're probably saying to yourself, well, what are you guys doing? Why are you criticizing? Look, criticizing people doesn't mean that we're not doing anything. Okay. We do stuff every day. At least 60% of my monthly income goes to black owned or black people. Cause my landlord is they're a black family. So, so let's not assume that just because we're criticizing Jay-Z and others that somehow we don't make a contribution to the cause or we're not actively involved. We are. So really quickly, Dre, I hate to try to rush us off of here, but I see that we're running out of time on this end. Where can people find out about blackmendoingit.com really quickly?
All right, blackmendoingit.com. Go to our website, blackmendoingit.com. We're rebranding the black man, positive images, successful black men, no rappers, no ball players, no actors, short documentaries. If you can make a donation, if you can't, help spread the word, blackmendoingit.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And for you guys who are tuning in, of course, we want to hear what you have to say about this. So leave your comments in the bottom. Ask us questions. We'll get in there and interact with you. If you agree, let us know. If you disagree, let us know. Give us your point of view. We are open to hearing and seeing other points of view. So it's totally fine if you don't agree with what we're saying. And thank you so much for supporting Financial Juneteenth. Dre, thank you so much for joining me. And you guys take care.
Later.
Bye-bye.